welcome to this week's Behind the Grind. My name is Michelle Floyd, and today I am here with sophomore pole vaulter, Savannah Whitehead. So then, Savannah, you are a sophomore here at the U of A, you pole vault. What's the biggest challenge with pole vaulting, and how did you get into it?
With pole vaulting, I grew up in gymnastics and I did it for like 7 years, and so by the time I got to high school, I was kind of done with gymnastics. It wasn't for me anymore, and I always did track in middle school, and so my freshman year of high school, I decided to start pole vaulting, and I just fell in love with the sport and the atmosphere.
That's cool. And then pole vaulting is not an easy sport. You started it in high school, as you just said. What has been your biggest challenge with it?
I would say it's so technical. My biggest challenge has been trying to learn how to become comfortable with it and get on bigger poles, because that's the biggest thing you need for getting up to those bigger heights, and just working on a total body fitness, speed and upper body and core and legs and everything.
So pole vaulting really uses everything of athletics, as you just said, core, speed. So then to get to those higher things, you need longer poles. How is it training to get to those heights?
It's definitely frustrating in practices. Obviously in competitions you have more endurance, and so you're so excited you're able to get on those bigger, longer poles. And so in practice it's really just getting back to your longer approach and just having that confidence and building repetition to get on those in practice so that you know you can get on it in the meet.
All right, and pole vaulting sounds like a very mental sport. So then what do you do to mentally train for this? Going to bigger heights, and then you're falling for however high that is. So tell me a little bit, how do you mentally train for pole vaulting?
To train mentally, I would say it's definitely getting that encouragement and the reassurance that you get from practice, but also your teammates are so helpful. I don't know what I would do without my teammates, and my coach too has been a huge encouragement for me. Just knowing, okay, you're just being mental and you're being stupid, you can get on this far and you can make this height. And so it's just being able to recognize that you have the capability of doing it. You just need to let go of the fear.
And those type of fears, can you tell us a little bit about what those fears may be?
Yeah, I would say the fear is getting onto those bigger poles. There's obviously things that could happen. You could take off wrong and you could miss the pit, but it doesn't happen very often. And so I think it's just the fear of, what if I don't make it on this pole? Will I hurt myself? But then, getting into practice, we'll just take up, to get through that, we'll take up just not finishing the jumps, but getting on the pole, just so we know we can make it in the pit. And then build that confidence, and from there finish them and get practice in.
Well, that's cool. And so then you are a sophomore. You did deal with a little bit of injury last year. How do you come back? What do you do to stay ready and to mentally and physically come back from an injury?
Yeah, that was definitely a hard thing. Having to sit out and just be at every practice and just watch but not be able to do it. It was the hardest thing, and it was really easy to just get so discouraged, but like I said, with my teammates too, it definitely helped, and being able to watch, it definitely, so many people face it, so they know what you're going through, and so being able to watch also helped me prepare and be able to recognize what's going on with the vault, so it made me a better athlete coming back, and then I just tried to do whatever I could to keep myself into shape and work that much harder this year to get back at it.
Well, it sounds like by watching them, that really, as you said, helped keep you mentally ready, so you knew what to look for a little bit. And I feel sometimes that's the hardest thing with any sport. And so then also getting to know you a little bit more. You are at the U of A. How do you like being at Arizona, and what's your favorite part about being here? And from your let's answer those questions first.
Man, I just love the atmosphere in the community, and then our team is just such a big family, and as a athlete who's also a Christian, I just found a home through the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and just such a great community, and so it's just really made me feel comfortable and supported being here. So that's like the biggest thing for me.
That's awesome to hear. Like FCA is where we actually met.
Yes,
so
it is.
fun fact. And so then what has been like, for our final question, from your freshman to your sophomore year, like what has been the biggest adjustment that you have made or have like felt yourself mature or grow up? What would you say has been the biggest difference?
I would say time management is like huge difference because coming into college, you have to balance your sport, which is a huge time and commitment on top of your obligations to schoolwork. And so, I mean, in high school, I got things done, but I procrastinated a lot. And so, yes, so this year and through last year, it's just like using the resources here to like get ahead of my schoolwork so that I know I'll be prepared and not have to worry about it when I'm at practice and at a competition. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching this week's Behind the Grind, and we will see you next week.